KUAM TV8, your home for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Itanu program. Cars Plus, visit today during our spring sales event. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Proponents and opponents fired up over the weed bill. The latest from the protest over pot at Adelup. Plus, the Liberation Carnival and Games of Chance. Details from session floor. And Guam on fire. Almost 100 grass fires reported this month alone.
Hafide and good evening, everybody. The fate of the adult use marijuana bill is now in the hands of the island's chief executive. Both opponents and proponents alike of the legislation were gathered down at Adelup on Friday, lobbying with the Magahaga, who has until April the 9th to take action. Nestor Lacanto was there and files our top story.
The measure legalizing recreational cannabis has revealed a strong divide, both within the community and within the legislature itself. Groups for and against had the chance to make their personal pleas to Governor Leon Guerrero, and there were passionate arguments on why she should or should not sign the bill into law.
No matter what they say, marijuana is a gateway drug. Not every pothead goes to meth or heroin, but all the people who in heroin and meth started with marijuana. So in Canada, it was very profitable. People illegally opened marijuana coffee shops. They called Vancouver Vamsterdam.
The hard drugs are here and they're getting worse. If I had anything to do, I would pour all the money into beefing up the police department and to go after the problem because it's out of hand. We're losing our island, and I'd like to see us take our island back.
And there was a testimony by one person there also in the meeting who said, oh, kids are already taking drugs now. They're selling it. So what's the big deal? Let's pass this law. So what, we're going to worsen the situation? Is this now a law that we want to pass so that now our kids are going to be free to do this?
When I came back from deployment, I was sheltering myself in the home. I was irate. I was angry. I was mad at the world. I treated my family like dirt. I wasn't the same person when I came back. And when I did try cannabis-based products, it changed my life. It changed my life for the better. Almost instantly, I started to socialize again, and I didn't think of suicide on a daily basis. It actually saved my life.
I'm 60 years old. I'm a mother, a wife, grandmother, great-grandmother. I suffer from menopause for 15 years now. I have PTSD, I have insomnia, high anxiety, and arthritis. I've tried many prescription drugs. They don't work together. I am useless when I use them. And I found that with marijuana, I don't need any prescription drugs. I threw them all away.
This medicine has allowed me to have to gain my life back. My daughter would not give this up. My 5-year-old daughter, who I was not able to deal with, to carry as a baby because of my PTSD. As a baby, I can't take that back. That hurts.
The governor has declined to comment on what action she will take while she says the bill is under review. But previously, she has said she'd sign the bill if it included certain stringent safeguards. If she vetoes it, it would take 10 votes to override. The measure passed by a narrow margin of 8-7. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
So what exactly is in the Guam Cannabis Industry Act of 2019, otherwise known as Bill 32? Here is a brief breakdown.
According to the legislation before Governor Leon Guerrero, you must be 21 years old in order to smoke weed on Guam, and you can't smoke in public places unless permitted by the Cannabis Control Board. If you plan on growing pot at home, there is a 6-plant limit. As for cannabis establishments, they are prohibited from being located within 1,000 feet from any public or private school, child care centers, public playgrounds, and parks. Bill 32 calls for the creation of a cannabis control board, which would be responsible for establishing the rules and regs for cannabis. It will consist of 9 members, the director or their designees from Rev and Tax, the Department of Agriculture, Public Health, the Guam Behavioral and Wellness Center, GVB, GPD, a representative from the business community, and 2 members from the general public, one of whom must possess a medical cannabis card. A 15% excise tax will be imposed on every cannabis cultivation facility that opens on Guam. 50% of the revenues collected will go to Public Health, GPD, Customs, Rev and Tax, the Guam Behavioral and Wellness Center, the Department of Agriculture's Conservation Officer Law Enforcement Section. The legislation also calls for 2 studies to be conducted. First, a baseline study, data prior to the enactment of the rules and regs measuring public safety and public health issues related to cannabis use. The study must then be performed annually. The second study involves the Guam Visitors Bureau, which will be required to have an independent economic impact study related to the legalization of cannabis for adult use in Guam. The study must be conducted not less than 3 months from the effective date of the act. Now, if signed by the governor, the law will be in effect. The Magahaga has until April 9th to sign or veto the measure.
Elsewhere on Island today, games of chance will be allowed at this year's 75th Liberation festivities. In a brief session on Friday, lawmakers passed Senator James Moylan's bill to authorize the Mayor's Council to establish the rules and regulations for the games, but excluding a casino. Speaker Tina Munya Barnes announced the voting results.
Colleagues, Bill number 29-35 COR received 8 ayes, 5 nays, and 2 excused absence. Bill number 29-35 COR is duly passed.
Moylan said he looks forward to reviewing the draft rules from the mayors and to the success of the 75th Liberation festivities. As for the voting, the only senators to vote no were Senators Talina Nelson, Therese Terlahi, Mary Torres, Sabina Perez, and Regine Bisco-Lee. Kelly Marsh-Taitano and Luis Munya were absent. Also today was the deadline for the Guam Memorial Hospital to submit proof that it has corrected major deficiencies cited by the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services. As a result of the site visit in February, CMS found GMH still not in compliance of 2 conditions of participation: anesthesia and quality assessment and performance improvement. Governor Lulian Guerrero says the response should have been sent today.
We've thought about some, contingencies, but we're really going to fight hard to keep it, only because it also allows accessibility to Medicare patients. If we lose Medicare funding, then we will not be able to provide services for our patients. They would have to go to GRMC. But we are going to continue providing services for our people of Guam.
Hospital Chief Executive Officer Lillian Posada says the final plan of compliance was submitted electronically to CMS late Friday. If CMS does not approve it, GMH could be terminated from the federal Medicare program, one of its biggest revenue sources. CMS has warned it will not pay for any services rendered to Medicare beneficiaries on or after the effective date of termination. Well, a public hearing on a resolution in other news related to the federal ban on cockfighting will be held Saturday at the Didido Dome. The resolution requests Congressman Michael Sinicolas to introduce an amendment to the Organic Act regarding protecting culturally significant practices on island. According to author Senator Pito Terlahi, local cockfighting can be traced back as early as 1525. This past December, federal law was enacted prohibiting cockfighting. The public hearing is Saturday starting at 3 in the afternoon. Down at the Port Authority, 75 staffers have signed a petition showing support for General Manager Roy Respicio. At a board meeting of the agency, cargo checker clerk Angela Yoshida burst into tears while reading the petition before Port board members and Port legal counsel Mike Phillips.
We were once a Port family. We respectfully ask the board to continue to support this management team like we do today, and we allow them to work towards the goals we have been set out by the new administration for them to achieve. Thank you for this opportunity to allow us to express our support for the new management team.
The petition says Port employees endured a, quote, hostile work environment under former Port GM Joanne Brown. The petition says under Brown's leadership, Port supervisors and managers would use yelling, intimidating, and bullying because, quote, they lost their sight in motivating employees. Meanwhile, Brown responded by telling KUAM News the petition is another sign the Port has become a circus under the leadership of Respicio. Well, we are just getting started, so please stay tuned because we are back right after this.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
A simple handshake. That's all Jake Calvo needed when he started his company. Today, 80 years later, we like to say thank you to all of you who have taken our hand in trust. Thank you to the dreamers. Thank you to the realists. Thank you to the family-oriented. Thank you to the entrepreneurial. Thank you to those climbing the corporate ladder. And to the ones starting a new life together. Thank you to the traditionalists and the edgy. To the young at heart and the old souls. Thank you to the daring, to the protective, to the practical. Thank you to the hopeful. To all of you from all of us, our deepest, happiest, and infinite thanks.
80 years here for you. 80 years thanks to you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
The next generation Galaxy has arrived. See it and believe it. The Infinity O display is the most innovative Galaxy screen yet. Capture the wider world. Take stunning photos with a 123-degree field of vision. Use your phone to charge other wireless charging devices. Don't just stand out, stand apart.
Looking for a great deal on a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? Then get to Cars Plus in Mighty now for our spring sales event. Like a new Jeep Compass Sport, $166 per paycheck. Or a new Chrysler Pacifica LX, $220 per paycheck. Or save $8,500 on a new Ram 1500. How about a new Jeep Wrangler Sport? Only $274 per paycheck. Low 1.99% financing is available on approved credit. Save thousands during our spring sales event going on now at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Try a double Filet-O-Fish sandwich for double the flavor, just in time for Lent. For limited time, served after 10:30 a.m.
Welcome back, friends. A former active duty Navy member and DoD Navy contractor will be flown from Idaho to Guam, where he faces federal charges of attempted enticement of a minor and attempted transfer of obscene material to a minor. Earlier this month, he was indicted locally for crimes he allegedly committed in 2017. KUAM News Archive said he allegedly sent nude photos and a video to a federal agent posing as a 13-year-old girl. Michael McCarran has been scheduled to appear in federal court for an arraignment hearing on April 11th before U.S. Magistrate Judge Joaquin Matabusin Jr. Well, this month alone, there have been 90 grass fires island-wide, and on Thursday, GFD, the Department of Agriculture, Anderson Air Force Base, and Navy fire units responded to such a fire over at Nimitz Hill that spread into Audit. The fire caused residents at the upper portion of Turner Road to be evacuated and closure of the road. Just before 11 p.m., units contained the fire and residents were able to return home. Fire crews continue to monitor the area. An estimated 486 acres were burned. In the meantime, the NWS says a fire weather watch remains through Monday evening, meaning the critical fire weather conditions are forecast to occur. Outdoor burning is prohibited. To see more how you can prevent grass fires, you can check our group chat that is on our Facebook page. Well, another GovGuam agency has returned a clean audit, as according to a report released by the OPA. At the end of fiscal year 2018, the Guam Housing Corporation saw a net loss over a little of $500,000. The agency's total operating revenues decreased by 7%, while its operating expenses decreased by some 11%. The agency noted one deficiency related to compliance. For an invitation for bid, the GHC closed the announcement in 14 days, as opposed to 2 weeks and a day, required by policy. The airport, in other news, released its fiscal year 2018 audit results, showing a more than 1.5% decrease in operational revenue from $70.5 million in fiscal 17 to $69.4 million last year. The airport cites a 4.2% decrease in passenger enplanements as a main reason for the decline. It says arrivals fell by more than $1.8 million in 2017 to more than $1.7 million in 2018. The airport says it was able to offset much of the loss through a 2.45% reduction in operating expenses from more than $48 million in fiscal year 2017 to more than $46 million last year. Overall, the airport's net position remained essentially the same at about $280 million. Elsewhere tonight, the new version of the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act of 2019 will include Guam. Robert Celestial with the Pacific Association for Radiation Survivors Organization says the Senate bill extends compensation to local residents exposed to radiation during U.S. nuclear testing starting in 1946 to 1962. He's testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee and has been fighting since 2002 to have Guam included. Under the act, claimants can be entitled to free medical care and $150,000 compensation for certain types of illnesses. While wrapping up a 2 days worth of training, counselors from around the island attended a workshop with the American School Counselors Association. Guam's counselors face unique challenges such as preventing alcohol and drug abuse and ensuring all students are career ready. Guam is the first territory to join the Nationwide Association of Counselors. Hernalyn Analista with the Guam Community College and Estela Calata is the president of the Guam chapter.
It's historic in the sense that with the partnership with ASCA at this point, we school counselors now have greater accessibility to professional development opportunities, and I think that's wonderful because the complexion of our island is changing. So are the students, and we need to be well prepared to deal with all these 21st century issues.
We want our students in the future to be resilient, to have good character, and to be ready for whatever problems there are. They know how to solve problems.
Off-island guest speakers taught counselors the national model. According to Brent Burnham, the model uses facts and research to develop effective interventions and best school counseling practices. Well, using the theme, Many Islands, One Impact. That very impactful statement was printed on T-shirts at the first Micronesian Youth Forum. Students from 5 different GDOE schools gathered at UOG's lecture hall, with Edmund Wangu, project director at the Micronesian Resource Center, saying the goal is to start dialogue between students and the community at large to help both succeed.
This forum invites all high schools, students of Micronesian descent to come together and share and participate in facilitated discussions using Pacific literature, poems, short stories, and really tie into themes of today of their own personal challenges or even successes. Biggest topic today would be identity and being proud of coming from the islands but still be able to transition to living here.
The center provides a number of resources to Micronesian families living on Guam. GPD Sergeant Paul Tapau and Superintendent of GDOE John Fernandez were guest speakers. Students from JFK High say the forum taught them acceptance.
Being Micronesian is not a bad thing, that you should take pride in your culture and take pride in being a Micronesian.
We need to learn about being one together because no matter where you go, it's always going to be diversity. There's always going to be different cultures and different races all around, and you just have to learn to come together. We could use what Officer Tapau said about the positive ripple effect and really make an impact on different people, not just of our own culture, but like of every other culture.
Community partners say they greatly look forward to expanding student participation in future such forums. All right, we're going to take another break, but stay tuned. There's much more primetime after this.
Ruby Tuesday's Seafood Sensations menu is back. Choose from your favorite dishes made with succulent lobster tail, shrimp, or our newest sensations with crab legs. Try out appetizers like crab fondue or stuffed shrimp. Pick an entree like the lobster tail or crab leg dinner. Select the lobster carbonara or the deep sea pasta. It's all ready and waiting for you. Get hooked on Seafood Sensations for a limited time only at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
We are the Half Day Pledge Kids. What's the Half Day Pledge? It's a promise to share a Half Day spirit and to protect our culture. Like saying Happy Day! Home
It also means promising to keep our island clean.
Like cleaning up the beach? That sounds so easy.
It is. Anyone can sign up, even kids just like us.
How do kids sign up? It's easy. Moms and dads call the Guam Visitors Bureau and sign the kid up to take the pledge.
All kids get certificates, bags, and can enjoy cultural activities at the signing ceremony.
We are Half a Day Pledge Kids, and you can be too.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
We're here at Red Zone Daddy Doe for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have GW rugby player Nathaniel Cali.
Congratulations on being Dial Rantone's Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to present this check to?
I'll be sending this check to Special Olympics Guam.
You're a football guy. You're a senior at GW. What drew you over to the rugby side for the first time of your high school career?
My boys asked me to play, and my mom didn't like it at first because she don't like that sport because it has no pattern and everything, but I told her it was my senior year. I didn't try something new, and I just went for it.
Your team was the only team to beat FD this regular season. Yes. The Friars were heading into the championship game, 3-time defending champs. What was the mood like and the mindset for the boys on the team heading into that championship game?
Very good. We really wanted get the ship back, and we worked hard every day, and we got it. We came to the game early. We had to one of the best teachers in GW, Miss Ch. We prepped our game plan and everything, and it was very good. Everybody was ready to go.
You scored 3 tries in that championship game, helping GW pull away with that championship title.
The 3 tries was really amazing, but honestly, it doesn't matter about 3 tries. My teams really helped me out there. They pushed me. Even our captains, John Espino and Jerome and Jose San Miguel, they played an amazing game that day.
How proud were your parents, and what did they say to you after the game?
They were stoked. My mom was she was there with a big smile, and I think she was happy that I played because she loves when I play new sports and try something new.
What's next for you right now since you're not playing any fourth quarter sports?